Hey guys. Oh, on your marks, get set, go.
We got a baby cobra. Isn't it adorable? I know it's sleeping, so we have to be really quiet.
So I have some footage from a week ago when we brought our baby chicks home in the mail. And then I was going to also include footage of us at our property starting to clear trees. And I had some beautiful footage, and for some reason the microphone wasn't connecting, and so it had no sound. So today instead we're just going to talk about chicks, baby chicks, what I'm doing with my chicks, and how they're thriving in our makeshift brooder that Luna and I did in our garage. If you haven't seen that video, it's in our videos. I am going to take you in the kitchen in a little bit to update you on what I've decided the best process for fermenting chick start is. I've done 3 different methods so far, and I definitely found one that feels really easy and doable for me. And I like that I incorporated my sourdough starter into that, so that'll be at the end of this video.
You know, baby octopuses? This one, it's dead.
So go ahead and enjoy us bringing our chicks home from the post office. We are headed down to our cute little local post office to get our baby chicks. They finally arrived. These chicks are a month, maybe a month and a half behind schedule because of weather and hatch rates and all sorts of things out of our control. So we are really excited to finally get these baby chicks. So the new little chickies are going to be just in this bin for a couple of days, and then when I know that they're all healthy, then they're going to go out in our bigger brooder with the other 7 chicks who are out there. So what I'm going to do to set this up is, in a 1/2 gallon jar, I do a 1/4 cup of raw honey, 1 crushed clove of garlic that you can see in there, filtered water, and 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And this is like an immediate electrolyte immune booster for these baby chicks who are probably pretty stressed because they've been in the mail for a couple days. That's going to be the first taste of water that they get. I'm going to save the rest of this, so I just give them a little bit in here, and then when I change their water for the next few days, this is what they're going to get. And the first feed that the new chicks are going to get is going to be this little bit of fermented chick start that I have here. So this has been fermenting for almost 3 days, and that way they'll get lots of good probiotics and a good immune boost with their miracle water, and hopefully that'll get these chicks off to a really good start. All right, come on, Kieran.
I forgot that I was on my guilt, and I was like, eh.
Let's go get them. Baby chicks, baby chicks.
They're actually great.
Oh, I hear him making noise. You can choose 1 sucker.
1 sucker?
1 sucker.
All right.
All right.
Get an autograph from you there.
And which one's this?
That one's
I see
berry
on right
blast.
Here what they are. One's
And that one's bubblegum.
that's bubblegum and that's Hawaiian punch flavor.
Oh, which one's this one?
That one's cotton candy flavor. Let's get these chicks home. I hear them.
Careful there. Yep.
Hopefully they
Very
all
good.
made it. Let's
I don't
hope.
smell anything bad, so that's
Okay.
a good sign.
Okay, good.
Very good.
All right, let's go. Say thank you for the sucker, Paul.
Thank you for the sucker, Paul.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, take care.
We got our baby chicks.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Let's get them home. Get them in their brooder. Baby chicks in the mail from Meyer Hatchery. It feels warm. I hear peeping. It's looking promising. Oh, almost all of them made it. Looks like 1 didn't. Okay, we've got Lavender Orpington. You made it. One of them didn't make it. So let's look at who did make it. Oh, they're all so cute. Look at those cuties. All right, so I have discovered my favorite way to do chick starter to ferment it. You can see in here these little air pockets. Those of you who make sourdough know that a good sourdough starter bubbles up, rises up, right? It kind of gets those air pockets in it. So what I did was I took about, one moment please, son. All right, so what I did was I put just a little bit of chick starter in, probably that much, and then I saturated it with sourdough starter. So I think it was like a half a cup of sourdough starter. Then I added a little bit of water in there, and I let it sit on the counter until it got active and smelled just kind of a little bit, you know, a little bit fermented, kind of sweet like sourdough. That was my first batch. So once that was nice and active, I gave that to my chickens. And now what I do is I keep it in the fridge. I take it out the night before, I feed them, and I feed them, and then it goes back in the fridge until there's about this much left. When there's like this much, you know, just a little bit left, just like you would with sourdough starter. So when there's just a little bit left, I feed it again with the starter and the water and leave it out until it's active. And so if you're a sourdough bread baker, you know what I mean by I watch it, right? Sometimes it's in the fridge, sometimes it's on the counter, depending on the temperature. I don't want it to get too active because then it starts to create hooch or alcohol, and I don't want that. I just want a nice ferment. This has been the easiest way to feed the chicks. For me, the fermented starter. The 3 buckets, the straining, the whole water thing just didn't make sense to me because I make sourdough, and this made sense. And it works, and they love it. Like, they go crazy for this fermented chick start. So that's how I'm doing it. I first just want to give you a little peek into their brooder setup. So it's pretty cold still. So I've got 2 heat lamps plus our warming plate in here because we have week-old chicks and we have 2 week-old chicks, and it's still in the low 20s at night here, and they're in the garage. So it's probably in the 30s in here at night, maybe in the 40s during the day. So probably in another week, I'm gonna wean them off one of these heat lamps, and then I'll wean them off both heat lamps, and then eventually I'll wean them off of their heat plate. They've got their feeders, their water away from their food. So over here we have dirt for them to scratch around in, mixed with chick grit. Of course, they've gotten pine shavings all in that, but I also threw some grubs in there, so when they're scratching around, they can find some grubs in their dirt. And eventually I'll be throwing some mealworms and stuff down actually in their bedding so that they can scratch it up. We're doing a deep bedding method in this brooder. There's no smell right now. It's working really, really well. I'm super happy with it. So I'm just gonna jump in there and show you a couple of the chicks, update you on a couple who we've done some previous videos about. We keep a stool in here because the kids like to sit and watch the chicks. All right, come here. Trying to catch chicks is always fun. I want to catch this guy just because he's so pretty. I don't know if you can get a good look. It looks like he has eyeliner on. He is a Swedish flower hen, and he's our one who we know. He's a cockerel. He'll be a rooster, and he's just really pretty. So that was a 1-week-old chick, and let me see if I can find Miracle. Come here, Miracle. Oh, come here. Here's Miracle. If you remember the video we did with Miracle, she is the one that hatched out of the egg. She's an olive egger. She's the one who hatched, so she's 2 weeks old. She hatched and had her yolk sac. You can see she's very healthy and active. She hatched and had her yolk sac, was not fully absorbed yet, but she's still alive and doing well. All right, that's the update on our little flock in the brooder. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have lots of work coming up soon on our property. We have someone who's going to be living with us, working up there full time. We're meeting with excavators. We're getting stuff going. So we're hoping that we'll be up there really soon. My chickens are going to be on the property before I am. That'll be a whole thing when we're setting up our coop, our motion lights, our electric fencing, possibly some netting to keep hawks and eagles out. We have a ton of bald eagles here. So that's going to be an interesting setup. So make sure you come back and look for that video in the future. We are so grateful that you're here watching, and we're looking forward to
Sam will come.
We're looking forward to being a part of this homesteading community.
Homesteading community. I love homesteading communities.